And welcome back to the campus of Wake Tech Community College, the North Campus here. You are tuned into the Hoop State Network and their presentation of the John Wall Holiday Invitational. We have Devontae Graham bracket action, first round action, as the Jaguars of Farmville Central square off against the Knights of Greenfield School out of Wilson. A big matchup of a couple of Eastern North Carolina's top teams. You just saw Northside Christian defeat Enloe to secure the championship in the Chris Clemens bracket. But this is a really good one. Evan Moesta here alongside David Katz, bringing you two of the top teams in the eastern side of the state, looking to make a good first impression here to start off the John Wall.
Yeah, absolutely. And this really being some of our first action, seeing an 8-team bracket, a bigger bracket, so we'll actually see some quarters, semis, and finals. So this being, I believe, game 1 or game 2 of that bracket. So the winner of this game will go on to take on the winner of Brighton and Life Christian Academy, who will be playing at 7 o'clock. The loser will play the respective loser of that game tomorrow at 11:30. So some really good matchups, and like you said, two of the best teams in North Carolina going head-to-head. Farmville, very fast-paced team. Greenfield, just all-around solid team. So it's going to be really interesting, especially with these two kind of having a little bit different kind of play styles, to see how they clash and who's going to kind of come out on top.
Yeah, Greenfield traditionally, they've really made their mark here in the Holiday Invitational over the last couple of years. Kobe White, who has the namesake of one of the brackets here, really made his name and put Greenfield on the map a couple of years ago. Took Greenfield to a Holiday Invitational tournament final a few years back when they fell to Garner, but since then, they've been able to keep things going with a really solid program. They're led by Aaron Murphy and Hampton Evans. You will see them in the black tonight. Aaron Murphy, one of the leading scorers in the entire state of North Carolina. He is a Queens commit. And then on the Farmville Central side, this is one of the premier teams in the entire southeast region of the United States. They have won 3 consecutive North Carolina High School Athletic Association state championships, and they are led by Josh Short. They've lost a lot of pieces from the last couple championship teams, but they have kept things moving under Coach Larry Williford. They announce starting lineups here in this one. Again, you're tuned in here, Hoop State Network, live from Wake Tech North Campus. Getting the start tonight for Greenfield, it'll be Matt Kirby, Kyshawn Atkinson, Bryson Wall, Hampton Evans, and Aaron Murphy, as we mentioned. A much smaller lineup, but Farmville Central, they're going to come at you with a lot of guards as well. They like to play fast. They like to move it up and down, especially with that tough backcourt of Jaden Pitt and Josh Short. You're going to be looking for them 1 and 2 in the backcourt. Derek Cox getting the start alongside Jaden Pitt. But Short and Pitt, they come into this one averaging over 30 combined points per game for the Jaguars. The starting lineup for Farmville will be Pitt, Short, Alex Moy, the brother of Leonte Moy, a star for the last couple seasons out in Farmville Central. Then you have number 12, Derek Cox. He's averaging over 12 points per game this season. And then J.D. Daniels rounds out the starting lineup for Farmville Central. The Jaguars, white uniforms, black numerals, golden trim, moving left to right. Greenfield, they're in the black uniforms with the white trim, moving from right to left. The second game of the Devontae Graham bracket is underway as Greenfield wins the tip. You see a lot of this really strong, feisty man defense from Farmville Central in this one. They're nonstop for all 32 minutes.
Absolutely, and we're going to see what they can do to try to lock down this Greenfield offense. Drive inside the paint. Nobody there in the corner. Try to be saved. I believe that was Bryson Wall, but nobody there. Just a little bit of miscommunication to get us started.
You've really got to be able to execute strong in the half court, especially when you're trying to slow a team like Farmville Central down. They will capitalize on a lot of the mistakes that you make and turn them into quick transition buckets. As there we see Alex Moy with the basketball. Puts on the brakes, up top to Daniels. And now he hands off Jaden Pitt. Pitt, a very crafty guard for Farmville Central, but there you see Greenfield making him execute and work in the half court. Pull-up jumper by Short off the mark. There's Murphy trying to Euro into the lane. Can't get it to fall. Hampton Evans there. Can't pull it down, but he'll head to the free throw line. That looks to be a little bit of the blueprint, though, defensively, if you're Greenfield School. Pack it in and really sit down on defense and make them hit contested jump shots.
No, and I thought they did a great job, especially with the first trip down the court. And like you said, I feel like that's the package they're going to try to run. They're going to try to force a shot as they were trying to they locked down the paint very well, didn't let anything inside. But they were also not given too much space around the arc, so there really wasn't anything except for a contested shot that they were able to put up.
Hampton Evans at the free throw line. A sophomore in his third varsity year with Greenfield School. We've seen him a couple times already in this Holiday Invitational as an 8th grader. Really put on a show back in the 2019 tournament. Farmville Central on the other end. Moy can't hit. Rebound contested for. Put back up by Derek Cox. The third opportunity won't go. Moy gets his opportunity. He and Cox play volleyball, and now a foul on the floor.
That's one way to make the stat sheet say 0 for 4. He'll get another shot at a bucket. He'll head to the line after drawing the foul. So 6 minutes, 17 seconds, almost 2 minutes gone by, and we only have 1 point in the board. Greenfield up 1-0 over Farmville.
Foul on Hampton Evans there. But the motor on these players for Farmville Central is at 100 for all 32 minutes and then some. So you've got to be able to box them out and secure the rebounds. Otherwise, it's going to be full-on competing. As Cox there makes the first, misses the second, and another foul on the floor.
Yeah, Moy did an excellent job kind of jumping right in front of the defender to try to get that ball back and secure another possession for the Jags.
It'll be Farmville Central basketball. There's Short. Over to Pitt. He'll let it fly from the wing. Short on that one. Will be out of bounds to go to Greenfield.
Once again, taking another contested shot. And I mean, Jaden Pitt, only 5'11". But the junior got some confidence in that shot, might as well take it. But good defense on the other end. Fast break down the court. Euro step inside the lane, won't get the first bucket to go. Rebounded in the paint, second effort. Can't get it, seeing the physicality of Farmville, and finally whistles blow.
They're going to peg that foul on Alex Moy of Farmville Central. But the Jaguars yet to break the score sheet. Neither team with a field goal here. It's typical for one of these tournament games, especially the first round. Both teams trying to feel each other out. Get a feel for the atmosphere here, but definitely a successful opening 2 minutes if you're Greenfield School, being able to slow them down. And we've seen in the past in this tournament, Greenfield has really been able to slow the pace and dictate the pace in games where they're up against teams that are a little bit quicker and more athletic, as Matt Kirby sticks that one back. 3-0 Greenfield now. 5:15 first quarter. Here's Moy down the baseline to the rim, laid it up and draws the foul.
And hey, if you're not going to get any looks outside and they're going to try to lock you down to the paint, might as well try to drive in there and draw a foul. At least get some points on the board in some way, shape, or form.
So as much as you want to lock in defensively, if you're Greenfield, you got to watch the foul trouble here. It's already 3 team fouls against the Knights. They have had the luxury of some missed free throws, though, as Alex Moy hits the second there, and it's 3-1 now. Jaguars an early 1 for 4 from the free throw line. Murphy into the lane, outside, Evans for 3, and he's fouled.
He was fouled. He sold that one, too.
Pitt flew out there, and Evans wore it. He'll head to the free throw line. Greenfield they enter with a 10-3 record this season. Lost to Trinity Academy. We saw them this morning pick up a third-place win in the Chris Clemens bracket. Also fell to Moravian Prep, a team you'll see tomorrow night. And Wayne Country Day School, that was their most recent loss, and that was back last week as Evans hits one of the first two, and he'll get the third here. Yeah, last Thursday, Greenfield School fell to Wayne Country Day. They're looking to bounce back through the opening 3 minutes of this one. There's Cox over to Daniels. Daniels knifes his way into the lane. Euro step up and in.
Did a little stop, hop, drop.
JD Daniels with the bucket. Makes it 4-3. There's that Farmville Central pressure. They break right through it and get an easy layup on the backside. Good job there. Aaron Murphy right in the middle. Playing traffic cop and finding Kaishan Atkinson for two. Now Josh Short. Skips corner. Moy for three. That won't go. Murphy right there on the glass. Can't gamble and make those passes there. Right in the lane was Pitt.
Yeah, and you can kind of see the Jags getting a little more aggressive on defense, trying to initiate the trap there. But I feel like with this being the first time that these two teams have really matched up, especially with their different play styles there, you initiate that trap, and it's very, very easy to kind of sneak around, especially not really knowing what this other team's going to give them.
There's Aaron Murphy. Greenfield's leading scorer is on the board for the first time today, and it's a 5-point lead for the Knights.
We're getting some buckets falling now.
You got to hit singles in this one as Pitt works off a ball screen, and then he'll back dribble. They have not been able to run anything here in the half court to get them any offensive success. A lot of dribbling by Pitt. Now the crowd's getting into it. Here you see Moy in an offensive foul. Drawing the charge is Bryson Wall. And they're going to say Derek Cox. It's his foul. That's two on Cox already. The senior wing for Farmville Central.
Yeah,
I don't think you could ask for a better opening 5 minutes if you're Coach Rob Salter.
No, you can't. I mean, Greenfield's done exactly what they've tried to do. They haven't given up big shots. They haven't given up open looks, and they've been able to slow this tempo down and kind of get this team feeling uncomfortable. Or at least that's kind of the feeling I've got, is that these guys aren't comfortable with some of the looks they're taking. I mean, Moy's had a handful of shots that he's taken that, I mean, have barely hit the rim, that really haven't looked on target. And so, excellent first 5 minutes from Greenfield as they're able to put the bucket.
Farmville Central fell asleep there on the sideline inbound. It's now a 7-point lead for Greenfield as Murphy gets the easy bucket. Off the bench, Michael Williams tries to respond and he can't, but Greenfield turns it right back over. Short to the rim, can't get it to fall. Some early jitters here for Farmville Central. They really need to hit a reset on this one as Pitt knifes his way in and can't get it to fall.
That would have been a beauty if that fell. He'd be between four different Greenfield defenders. A little too much spin off the glass.
See a little bit of discomfort from the Farmville side, being able to try to figure out how to get points in this one up against Greenfield. And a big atmosphere here for a lot of guys who have yet to play on that type of stage, even though they play for arguably the most premier program in the state of North Carolina in Farmville Central. They certainly have a test here in the first quarter. Farmville Central trailing Greenfield 10-3 early. .229 in the first quarter. Evan Moesta, David Katz here bringing you Devontae Graham bracket action as the Greenfield School against Farmville Central has gotten off to about a perfect start here, leading 10-3. They've been able to do it on both ends of the court as Farmville looks to mount an early comeback. Can't get it there. Another good defensive stop by Greenfield.
Almost another turnover there, trying to find somebody in the lane. As Hampton Evans loses the ball. He's going to get it back, and a block swatted out of bounds. Moy sends that one against the padding on the far wall. So while Greenfield still leads, I mean, a pair of turnovers, some poor ball handling, but nice pass for an open three. Can't get that one to fall. Rebounded under the paint, or under the basket, as Matt Kirby goes down. Seemed to be in a little bit of pain as he got up, and he'll take the inbound.
Daniels picking up the foul there. A little bit of foul trouble here early for Farmville Central. 5 already for the Jaguars in the opening quarter as Evans pulls up at the free throw line and drops it in. Give Hampton Evans 4 points now and give Greenfield a 9-point lead here in the first quarter. Pitt loses the handle, and it's going to go back to the Knights.
And it's a bit counterintuitive to feel like I'm saying this, but like the Jags just need to slow down. Like, I know you're a fast-paced team, but slow down, collect yourself, run your plays, and then take momentum or take control of this game. I mean, if you're trying to run fast-paced offense with the way that the Knights are kind of running slow, methodical playing, I mean, it's not going to work. And they need to take control of this game, and the first step that they got to do is get on the pace of the Knights.
That's a good way to get the momentum going. Alex Moy takes the charge there. There'll be a foul on Nick Edwards, who is fresh into the game.
Yeah, it wasn't much, but just a little bump. Send him to the floor. It's all it takes.
But Farmville Central, they're looking to replace the likes of Leonte Moy.
Oh, open three. You got to knock that down.
There. Brandon Knight will hit it for the Jags.
That's
another guy.
Go ahead, my bad.
Oh, no, you.
First kind of defensive slip there that we've really seen. Open three, rattles around and knocks it down. Matt Kirby. I think he's just fine.
Yeah, there's some good pace to this one, but Farmville Central, they're obviously looking to replace a lot of pieces from last year. Leonte Moy, Jaquavion Smith, who's now at North Carolina State University, were key cogs here for Farmville Central for the last 3-4 years and won them a couple of state championships along the way. And so you have a lot of new pieces in here. Josh Short is kind of the constant for this Farmville Central team, but you've got a lot of guys who are, for the first time, playing in front of a packed gym in a big hostile environment in a neutral site as Aaron Murphy goes to work. Can't get the second opportunity to fall. It'll be short in transition for Farmville. Up top, Moy. Swings it to Williams. Williams, a freshman, working on Murphy. Now Pitt from deep. Won't go. Greenfield has numbers. Ahead of the pack and to the rim, it's Kaishawn Atkinson. Greenfield has increased the lead to double digits. They're absolutely relentless on the defensive end.
Another loose ball down the court by himself. Easy lay-in for Jaden Pitt, so hopefully that can get something going for the Jags as time expires. Shot cannot fall, 17-8. Greenfield leading Farmville Central in a bit of a surprising first half, or first quarter. Welcome back for the start of the second quarter as Greenfield leads Farmville 17-8. Greenfield domination in the first quarter as they were able to pretty much stall the Jags, not really let them get any rhythm going on offense, and had some nice buckets go their way on their end of the court. So Jaden Pitts will get things rolling for the Jaguars. He's going to drive into the lane. A 1-2 step, he'll get his rebound and fires that one off the underside of the basket, and he'll draw the foul.
2 fouls now on Hampton Evans, but Jaden Pitt and Josh Short, we talked about them in the open. They are the 2 leading scorers for Farmville Central. They are the headline players, and until Jaden Pitt got that late bucket there in the first quarter, they hadn't scored in the opening frame, and so they have a combined 2 points. Make it 3 as Pitt hits the first free throw there, but we knew Greenfield School was going to come out with some type of game plan to try to establish their brand of basketball and their pace, and they certainly did it in the first quarter. But it's going to be a matter of, can they sustain it? We've seen a lot of teams that have been matched and put together really good opening game plans in this tournament, but sustaining it through a full 32 is another thing. As Pitt hits both there, cuts the deficit back down to 7. It's 17-10, Greenfield leading this one. You see Alston met with the trap, works out of it. They find an open man, 3 on the way, rattles in. Give Matt Kirby another triple.
5'10" junior going to work.
20-10 now. Greenfield back with a double-digit lead. They've led by as much as 11. Here's Farmville Central on the other end. Pitt. They hedge the ball screen. Now he gets it off to Williams. Down low for Moy. Moy in the block. Spits out Williams, the left-handed 3. Rattles in. Michael Williams gets the fortuitous bounce, and it's back to a 7-point game. Kirby tried to work inside out. They're going to say it was deflected off of Moy. We get Derek Cox back into the game for Farmville Central. He picked up 2 early fouls. Bryson Wall in on the Greenfield side.
Kirby gonna try to drive inside, got an open lane, puts the bucket up, it spins around and in. Another bucket for Matt Kirby as he's running this Greenfield offense.
Kirby now has 10 of the 22 for Greenfield. Good answer there. Jaden Pitt for 3.
First real 3 that Pitt has taken and knocked down that really has kind of felt like there wasn't a guy rushing in his face. Took some time, was able to set his feet. Nice release, knocks it down. Hopefully his confidence will start to rise. Quick shot, floater in the paint, and a good bucket, Aaron Murphy.
24-16, Greenfield leads it. Been teetering between 8 and 11 points in this one. Pitt, another contested look, won't go. They contest for the loose ball. Bryson Wall goes after it, and they're going to say it's staying with Farmville Central.
Man, and I know that you drop him back, and I know that you have that little bit of separation there, and I understand that Jaden Pitt is one of their go-to guys to knock down those type of shots. But, I mean, that wasn't close. That didn't even hit the rim. I mean, that hit the side of the backboard. I mean, and he was back in his, I don't know who was on defense there, but he was back in his face when he released that ball. I mean, got to get some other looks.
Good job there by Williams, knifing into the lane, but an offensive foul. It's KJ Peden who takes the charge. They're going to charge Michael Williams with the foul.
And I like the effort, but again, another possession goes by, and there was a man wide open in the corner. Nobody was on him. 5 guys, it was 5 on 4, and one man was sitting out on his own.
And this is Greenfield doing this without either of their best players in the game, without Hampton Evans in the game, as Jaden Pitt gets the bucket there.
Good job from Pitt, just heads-up awareness.
He has 9 of the 18 for Farmville. They've cut it back down to a 2-possession game. But now you can see Farmville Central getting a little bit more comfortable, getting their feet wet now in this game and being able to really establish some of the foundations of what they do as a team defensively.
And it feels like we're just on the brink of something, just some momentum starting to get rolling, because it's felt like a weird game so far, especially with these being 2 high-caliber teams. As another steal there, one-on-one. Lay-in is up and good. As Alex Moy able to deliver the bucket.
24-20. Farmville on the comeback here. They trail Greenfield School by 4. 5 minutes left, second half. We'll be back in just a moment.
Welcome back. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Greenfield still leading, but Farmville's been putting the pressure on as we see a heavy defense being played. Foul going to be drawn as Alex Moy fouls Atkinson as he was trying to drive to the basket. Smart foul. I mean, he had a pretty much open lane there, open bucket.
It's now 2 on Moy. Puts Greenfield into the bonus as we see Kaishan Atkinson head to the free throw line for the 1-and-1.
Just a reminder, following this game at 4 o'clock, North Mech High School taking on Bishop Spalding out of Maryland. And that game, as things start to heat up after that as well, some really, really good action all throughout the day, especially heading into the night, as he's able to drop the second one.
Yeah, that North Mecklenburg Archbishop Spalding game coming up next. Also part of this Devontae Graham bracket. Winner of that game will move on and play the Burlington School tomorrow. Burlington School already picked up a first-round win back on Thursday over at Word of God in day 1 of this event. The Burlington School, they actually play later today, but it's in a showcase game against Brewster Academy, who's down here for 3 showcase games in this tournament. A unique addition to the John Wall Holiday Invitational this year. And that Brewster-Burlington School game, I mean, this gym's about, I would say, more than 95% full. And by the time that game rolls around, it is going to be wall-to-wall with people here at Wake Tech North as Josh Short hits a free throw for his first point of the game. But if you are trying to get over here to Wake Tech North, the window's closing very quickly to try to get in here. We're approaching that territory where it's going to be 1 in, 1 out, as it typically is past the 3 o'clock hour at the John Wall Holiday Invitational. We see Matt Kirby with the ball. Aaron Murphy gets an open look. Can't hit it from the wing. The rebound comes down to Jaden Pitt. Chance to make it a 1-possession ball game. Josh Short skips it across. 3 on the way. Count it. Chris Rhodes off the bench nails it.
Oh, Rhodes had that nice dead ball shot. That looked pretty going in.
4 threes in the first half for Farmville Central. It's kept him in this one. It's made it a 1-point game. On the response, Matt Kirby. He's been unbelievable in this one. 12 already for him.
Anytime the Jags say something, Kirby's got something to answer.
Greenfield really making Farmville reach deep into their bag of half-court sets, and a blocking foul there. Greenfield almost got another one, but Bryson Wall couldn't set his feet.
He was just taking that last step back too, so close. But I'm liking that they're getting Short a little more involved at the helm, kind of using him and Pitt passing around at the top of the arc off the wing. Just getting him more involved, because I mean, Josh Short, one of the kind of spotlight guys coming into this game, and like you said, I think he's got what, 1 or 2 points right now.
He's got 2, and 2 free throws that he just hit.
And so, I mean, Farmville without him right now, down by 3. They've brought the deficit from double-digit back down to what it is now. But, I mean, I really think if they're going to win this game, they got to keep getting him more involved. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing right now, even though he hasn't put up a shot yet. So Jaden Pitt heading to the line. He'll shoot 2. 3 minutes, 32 seconds on the clock, and that one rattles out. Rebounded by Murphy, and Murphy's going to drive it up the court. Looking for something. He'll dump it off
Kirby and Murphy, there you go.
There it is, Kirby-Murphy matchup.
Off glass and good for Aaron Murphy. They've done a good job of hitting those singles, getting those quick hitters as Short tries to respond, can't. Another quick rushed shot, was not in rhythm there. And the rebound comes down to Atkinson. Guarded one-on-one by Williams, a 5-point lead for Greenfield, and they have the basketball. Under 3 to play in the first half. Evans now, shimmy shake into the lane, turns it over. They're gonna say it was off of a Farmville Central defender. Murphy off the inbound, turns it over. We look down there, we see Terquavion Smith, we mentioned him earlier. A 3-time state champion at Farmville Central, now a star freshman for North Carolina State University. Down there with Breon Pass taking in the action courtside. There's Pitt, outside Williams. Williams for 3, count it. MJ Williams, his second 3 of the game. It's back down to a 2-point lead.
That's a pretty off-balance shot. Beautiful job to get the release off. Knock that one down, that's a huge shot. Only down by 2 now.
Kirby outside, Atkinson, can he respond? Off the mark, a chance for Farmville to tie or take the lead. They've trailed by as much as 11 in this one. Pitt to the lane, off glass. Short tried to throw it back down. Won't go into the hands of Murphy. And now Greenfield will try to respond in transition. Kirby to the rim, out of bounds. It'll go to Farmville. But this Farmville team, 3 straight state championships. In the last 3 seasons, they are 84-2 as a program. Those only 2 losses came back-to-back here in the 2019 John Wall Holiday Invitational. In the second and third round of the Invitational, they lost in overtime to the Patrick School, and then they fell to Millbrook. And since then, they have not lost a game. They hadn't lost in quite some time coming into that tournament, so it's the only blemish on the last 3 years worth of basketball at Farmville Central.
And it's got to be a weird feeling kind of coming into this one and just being shut down, especially with how dominant you've been against good opponents. And so, I mean, it's what you do in the face of adversity. And so I feel like the Jags have responded very, very well so far to what Greenfield has put up. As Murphy's first shot bouncing off the front of the rim.
Greenfield, like we said, they've led by as many as 11 in this one. Currently, they cling to a 2-point lead. We're late in the first half. TJ Perkins now into the game for Farmville Central. And Murphy a chance to make it a 3-point game here. Free throw up and good.
Knocks that one down. Cole Williams getting some action as he takes this one cross half court. He'll pass it to Short. Short's going to try to drive. He'll meet a wall. Now kick it back outside. Shot just inside the arc. Unable to get it to go. And it's going to be Greenfield ball.
I'd say that foul's against TJ Perkins. Came flying in there and
I'd say
plowed over his defender.
So one and one at the line, as that is the 9th foul on Greenfield. Farmville 1 away from double bonus. Both these teams sitting in the bonus. Farmville only giving up 7 fouls.
Kashawn Atkinson at the free throw line for Greenfield. Chance to extend that lead to 2 possessions, which is big late in this first half. 17-8 Greenfield after 1. Currently 32-28. You're tuned in here to the opening round of the Devontae Graham bracket at the John Wall Holiday Invitational as Atkinson can't get the second to fall, and Josh Short will push left to right on your screen. Find Jaden Pitt in the corner, working around a Perkins ball screen, slips, picks up his dribble, and now Williams up top will try to reset the deck. Short clears out. He gets the matchup he wants, one-on-one with Atkinson, takes it to the baseline, tried to skip corner, and it's stolen away by Murphy.
Murphy was ready for it all the way. Fast break down the court. They've got personnel. Good defense by Short, knocked that away. Not going to give him an open look. Shot taken just off the mark. Ball's going to bounce around and finally fall into the hands of Farmville. And Pitt, whistle going to blow, foul called.
There you see that pace that Farmville's looking for. They're really looking to create some havoc, make you throw the ball around. Greenfield had a 4-on-0 there and couldn't get anything out of it.
And
good credit there to the Farmville defense.
You gotta chalk that down to Josh Short as well. He was able to get that ball out of the hands of, I believe it was Atkinson, multiple different times as he was racing down the court. I mean, you had one guy in the paint, two guys along the arc, wide open with nobody down there. Phenomenal job by Josh Short, just to disrupt Greenfield just enough to get some personnel down there.
32-30 Greenfield, the basketball and the lead here. Late second quarter. Kirby across the time stripe, hands off Atkinson. Fake the handoff to Alston, he'll keep it himself. Give it to Murphy now, extended post. Now out to the wing, Murphy. One-on-one with Perkins, 25 seconds left in the first half. Murphy to the rim, scores it over Short.
Goodness.
Aaron Murphy, an impressive finish. Pushes the lead back to 4. 10 seconds to go first half. Can Short score it? To the rim, can't get it to fall. Second opportunity with 5 left, and Short sticks it back. His first field goal. One last heave at the horn, won't go, and that'll take us into the halftime break. Greenfield clinging to a 34-32 lead over Farmville Central. A fast-paced first half. We'll take a break, be back with halftime stats and scores. You're tuned in to the Hoop State Network. Back from Wake Tech North campus for the second half of action here. Greenfield School and Farmville Central squaring off in the Devontae Graham bracket of the John Wall Holiday Invitational. It is Greenfield holding a 34-32 lead over Farmville Central. But David, as we saw, Farmville Central came on really strong there in the second quarter, outscoring Greenfield 24-17, and they've turned this from a 11-point game to a 2-point game at the break.
Yeah, we kind of saw what Farmville Central does towards the end of the second quarter. They were just running up and down, and Greenfield really had no answer for some of the looks that they were putting up. So, I mean, like we just talked about it before coming back on the air, Greenfield is going to have to replicate something of what they did in that first quarter. They're going to have to make Farmville Central feel uncomfortable and really eliminate that speed. Because when you get these guys, we saw when you slow them down and kind of get them out of their element a little bit, they're very, very shaky. And some of those shots that normally, when they've got that momentum and that speed, that fall, aren't falling right now.
In the first half for Greenfield, it was Matt Kirby leading the charge. He had a really strong first half for Greenfield School, led all scorers with 12 points. Kyshawn Atkinson had 7, Aaron Murphy had 7, Hampton Evans had 4, and KJ Peaton had 2. It's Kirby and Greenfield with the ball to start here, and Atkinson firing up a 3 and hitting it right on cue. Kyshawn Atkinson.
Perfect way to get started.
37-32 now, a quick response. Cox draws the foul, and that's now 3 on Hampton Evans. You got to start watching that. So he got into a little bit of foul trouble first half and picks up an early one there. It'll send Derek Cox to the free throw line. He did not score first half. He himself was in a little bit of foul trouble as well. Farmville Central, they were led by 11 points from Jaden Pitt. He really got it going and paced them in the second quarter. He had 9 in the second quarter alone. MJ Williams had 6, 3 from Alex Moy, 3 for Brandon Knight, 3 for Chris Rose, 2 for JD Daniels, and then Josh Short, their leading scorer, was held to only 4 points.
That's what I'm hearing. It was a team effort.
Across the board, it was pretty balanced as both go down for Derek Cox. His first 2 points of the game, and it's back to a 3-point game.
Matt Kirby taking it up the court now, being guarded by Pitt. He'll beat him as he drives, but kick it now to the outside, trying to find. Man, in the paint, able to put that up. Aaron Murphy able to body his way to a bucket.
Aaron Murphy, the Queens signee, is going to be really good for years to come down at Queens.
They got a good one. Shot up by Pitts. He's able to knock that one down. And Pitts' moving jumper brings Farmville back within 3.
Murphy, that point forward type player, standing 6'4". There you see him operating on Cox. Tried to back into him, almost turned it over. Now it's Atkinson. Hitting corner, Wall for 3, won't go. Loose ball contested 4 and claimed by Farmville Central. They'll go right to left. There's Josh Short. Full head of steam to the rim, floats it up, won't go. Cox, the second opportunity, puts it in.
Cox was staring at us when he put that bucket in. Great concentration to know where the rim is and great awareness to be able to put that back.
Here's Kirby. He was the heart and soul of Greenfield first half, draws a foul here. Will be on the floor, and it'll go against J.D. Daniels, his second.
And you can see a little bit of emotion there from Kirby as that shot didn't fall. Just kind of a little bit of a head tilt, just like, darn it. As that was a really nice shot that he got in. 5-on-4 now as Pitts gets back up there, swinging around the arc. As Wall stuck in the corner. He'll work his way out. They'll give it to Kirby up top. Trying to find Murphy inside. Murphy, big body to the rim.
Beautiful drop step there, Aaron Murphy. It all got started, though, because of the moving and cutting of that motion offense for Greenfield. Moy tries to respond, and he does. Alex Moy, and now this game has some pace to it.
And this is what we expected starting off.
Pace favors Farmville Central, but Greenfield has done everything and then some. And as long as Aaron Murphy's doing what he does best, it's going to be a good game here. Evans, he'll try a wing 3. Nail it. Hampton Evans' first triple of the game.
And you talk about that flow. You saw Matt Kirby slowly walking up the court, taking his time, staying in the backcourt for a little bit before trying to execute something, and it worked great.
4-point lead now for Greenfield, 44-40. 5.5 to play third quarter. Pitt now working on Wall to the rim. Reverse layup, won't go. Loose ball corralled by Atkinson, and ahead of the pack comes Kirby. with Moy on his tail. Kirby can't get it in. Evans can't finish. Now the other way, Farmville in transition. Short, weaves to the lane, draws the foul.
It's good to see him get his foot taken out from under him. One of the Greenfield guys was kind of falling over when he tried that little Euro step. So good to see he didn't catch any of that, or he would have been on the floor.
Aaron Murphy's second foul sends Josh Short to the line. Chance to cut it back down to a one-possession ball game. But if you're Greenfield, you got to stop ball there and not let Short knife his way all the way to the rim.
But even still, I've been impressed by Greenfield. They're shooting on the other end. They've taken their best possible looks, and they've been able to knock down those shots. And they haven't been able to stop Farmville per se, but they've been able to keep up with them. And if they're able to do that and get a stop here and there, they got a good chance at pulling this out.
They carved out enough of a lead first quarter, as much as 11, to be able to put them in the driver's seat as long as they hit shots in this one. And they've hit about all the shots that they've needed to hit so far.
McCall Williams, what a fantastic job. He streaked from the other side of the court to get up there and not allow Greenfield to have a look at an open three. He was wide open on the corner, and that would have been a knockdown three, but great job by the Jags and the defense.
Kirby now handles it at the volleyball line. Spits corner Atkinson. He'll take Williams baseline to the rim and finish it and one. Beautiful take there. Kaishan Atkinson had a lane to the basket, took his man with him, and finished strong through the contact.
Atkinson only standing at 5'9", not the biggest guy on the planet, but he is not afraid to put his body on the line, going in there up against Derek Cox, 6'1", 6'2" guys, just throwing it up there high off the glass. Beautiful job to get that in and go to the line for a three-point play.
Chris Rhodes back into the game now for Farmville Central. Atkinson, 5 points already to lead all scorers here in the second half, and a chance to push this to a 6-point game. Free throw up on the way, rattles out into the hands of Moy. But it's a 5-point lead now for Greenfield. Rhodes on the other end. He hit a first half three, can't hit that one. Rebound on the weak side goes down to Cox, and out of bounds, couldn't spit it back out to Moy. And Greenfield will survive there and get possession of the basketball.
Feels like a big possession to me. I know there's 4 minutes, 31 seconds left in the third, but if Greenfield can hit something here and just keep that momentum on their side, Farmville is in a rut. Three ball taken, can't knock it down. Rebounded by Rhodes.
Pitt with numbers, 5-on-4, to the elbow, pull up. Can't drop it in. Evans there to clean it up off the glass. And now Greenfield will take their shot and getting it in transition. 4-on-2, Kirby, high off the window and in.
Woo, soft hands, baby.
Matt Kirby, his first bucket of the second half, and the lead's back to 7. Short, can he respond? Yes, he can.
Oh, my goodness.
Beautiful reverse layup, Josh Short. Short now has 7.
And you're seeing the stars start to shine here. You're seeing who's going to come up big in these situations. Atkinson starting to show what he's got here in the second half, and Kirby still making things happen.
There you see C.J. Alston, finds a cutting Hampton Evans. Evans to the rim, won't go, competes for his own miss, can't get it to fall. Josh Short now, back to Pitt. Pitt with room to shoot, won't get it to go. Alston there to clean it up. Here comes Greenfield the other way. A 5-point lead in hand. Murphy to the rim, scores it. Aaron Murphy once again. He now has 13 in the game. The lead's back up to 7 with 3 minutes to go in the third. Short. Farmville looking for a bucket, gets it. A long two by Josh Short and a timeout on the floor. A 5-point game with exactly 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Greenfield has the ball and the lead. We'll take a break and be back in just a moment. 3 minutes left here, third quarter. Greenfield 50, Farmville Central 45. It's Greenfield with the ball in the lead. Kaishan Atkinson, he's had a big second half so far for the Knights. And so is that guy, Aaron Murphy. The leading scorer, though, has been Matt Kirby. He's number 3 with the basketball right now. Swings it to Atkinson. They shift around that Farmville Central defense. Now it's Evans looking to post up into the block to Murphy. Murphy thought about going to work. Instead, he finds Alston for 3. Won't go. Loose ball, tracked down by Alston. The skip, Atkinson, the 3. Front iron and off. Loose ball picked up by Moy. And a good job by Greenfield getting back and setting up on defense as Farmville Central walks it across. Josh Short, he's began to heat up here a little bit. He'll try another long 2 and hits it. He's hit back-to-back shots from that spot. Back to a 3-point game.
Here comes Farmville. How do you respond? How do you answer here?
Greenfield has had every possible answer that they could get in this game so far. Short picks up his first foul. They've had response after response after response. It's been 3-4 different guys providing it. Evans now called for the travel. Had a ball fake there to a cutting Atkinson and decided against it. And that back foot dragged.
That's an unfortunate turnover. That's going to be. That could be a costly turnover as well.
Coming up next after this one, we have Devontae Graham bracket action. This is the top half of the Graham bracket. The bottom half, North Mecklenburg High School and Archbishop Spalding. Cam Whitmore, the Villanova signee, going up against College of Charleston signee Jordan Crawford in North Mech. It'll be a good one here. We've got an excellent one on our hands right now. A 3-point lead for Greenfield. The final 90 seconds of the third quarter against Farmville Central. Team that has not lost a game since being in this tournament in 2019. And they're on the ropes right now.
And I'm liking this. I'm liking they're doing what they did when they got that run going in the second quarter, where they're stopping and they're taking a breather and they're going, okay, we'll play at your pace, we'll play your game. And then the second that there's a little loop, there's a second that there's a little hole, they're going to dive right through it. They're going to try to take this.
They're picking and choosing their spots really well.
They are. They're going to try to take control of this game, but for now they're trying to slow down and play the game that's on the court.
There you see Jaden Pitt with the basketball. Weaves his way to the rim, can't get it to fall. Rebound, Cox swatted away. Moy now floats it up and in. Alex Moy's second bucket of the half. And now we have a 1-point game on our hands, 50-49. Bryson Wall up top for Kirby. Now to the post. Murphy, runner, won't go. Rebound, Cox. And look out, here comes Josh Short. Rocks to the rim for the lead. Farmville Central, they've climbed the mountain. They have their first lead of the game. It's in style.
An exclamation point to put them back on top, and the gym's into it now.
There's that transition offense with an exclamation point. Josh Short rising up and throwing it down. 51-50, Farmville finally ahead in this one. Here's Alston. Now Farmville getting into their pressure defense. They go into the block for Murphy. Spin move, off glass, no. Second opportunity. And we're going to have a jump ball. Yes, we will, and it's going to go to Farmville. Nick Edwards getting tied up there, but now you can sense Farmville has that energy. Farmville has that momentum, and all it took were just 2 or 3 really key plays.
And you could just kind of feel, and I know that it's 1 point, I know it's one basket, but you can already feel that heavy sense of urgency. Not panic, but just some urgency from Greenfield.
Here's Short. Draws the foul. Short, he had only 1 field goal in the first half. He was held to no points in the first quarter. And now when we look at the score sheet, he has 11. 7 in this second half. Jaden Pitt got all the buckets in the second quarter. It's been Short all here in the third. They get it up top, into the backcourt. Murphy and Short compete for it. And that was not a smart foul on Aaron Murphy's behalf.
Well, it almost looked like Murphy was trying to, like a wrap-up tackle. Looked like they were on a field there, not on the court.
One of those you kind of have to concede, let Short get it, and then sit down and guard him the full length of the court.
Yeah, exactly.
You already did your job to get him to throw it into the backcourt, but instead you pick up your third foul. You head to the bench here with 6 seconds left in the third. Farmville, one final push, 5 seconds left. Short spins, throws it up, won't go. At the horn, Rhodes can't get that one to fall. And we will head to the fourth quarter. We have quite the game on our hands right now. Farmville Central leads Greenfield 51-50. We head to the final 8 minutes here in the Devontae Graham bracket opening round. But Greenfield School trailing Farmville Central 51-50. Farmville, they have started to claw back into this one. Once down 11 in the first quarter, they now lead it by 1 heading to the fourth. And they have gained a lot of momentum over the last 15 minutes of this one. Greenfield, they've had an excellent game plan and excellent execution. But they turn it over there. Here's Short. Throws it up, almost threw it down. Instead, he'll draw a foul.
He was going to before he got a little misdirected there, before he kind of got pushed away from the basket. And if he was able to throw that one down, that was going to bring the roof down in this place.
But you can slowly see these wheels are starting to fall off a little bit. They're starting to get a little loose on the Greenfield side. Some careless mistakes, some missed shots, a couple of turnovers, a couple of fouls here and there. But they've had the benefit of not the best free throw shooting night from Farmville as Short goes 0 for 2 at the line, a missed opportunity. Here comes Greenfield. Atkinson with the ball. Puts on the brakes, pressured, now outside. 3 on the way, won't go for Edwards. Loose ball corralled by Rhodes. Here they come, Short, 2-on-2. Works right into the chest of Edwards, and 1. What a finish, Josh Short.
He now brick wall and still went going.
Now they got the crowd into it, and Short is showing why he's the best player in the gym right now. We were wondering when he would make this leap in this game.
That's what it is, what we were talking about. And we were talking about how he hadn't gotten involved really at all. He had like 2 points, and they were off free throws at one point in the second quarter. And with being kind of that guy to watch out for, at least the Hoop State Network posting like this, the guy to watch for this team, we were wondering when he was going to show out, and here he is.
3 of 7 at the line today is Short, though. And a turnover there by Greenfield. And you can see the frustration starting to mount as they trail by 3.
Yeah, some obvious frustration.
Murphy back into the game. And a timeout by Coach Rob Salter, but Murphy's back in the game. That's the horse that you're going to want to ride down the stretch here. He's in foul trouble. He has 3 fouls, but we've seen Farmville's actually shot it better from 3 than Greenfield in this game, but Greenfield, they've had a bunch of different guys contribute in this one so far.
They have, and I mean, it hasn't felt like for Greenfield like it's felt for Farmville, where we've kind of seen that shift from one main guy to another, or really seen one guy show out. I mean, we saw Matt Kirby who kind of took the reins in the second quarter into the third quarter that helped them get to that 7-point lead. But I mean, other than that, it's really been a heavy team effort, and they got to keep that going through the stretch. Their ball movement has been really, really good, and when they've been able to move the ball like they have, especially when they've been able to escape the pressure and the traps, trying to force Greenfield into the backcourt, they've been able to get some really, really good looks. But it has been that pressure and that trap towards the backcourt, towards that half-court line, that has really slowed Greenfield and kind of made him panic a bit. Little bit different approach being down in that situation than when you're up. But you gotta play this game like you're tied. You gotta play this game like you've played it all game long, and you're going to be able to try to build that lead back.
The finish line, 7 minutes, 18 seconds away. Farmville Central, largest lead of the game so far, 53-50. And they have the basketball. It's Jaden Pitt. If he gets going in this final 7 minutes, it could be real dangerous. There's Cox pulling up for two.
And you can't leave him open like that. I mean, he's got two arm-links between him and the nearest defender, and they're playing a little bit lackadaisical with passing the ball up.
5-point lead now. Hampton Evans can't respond. Rebound to Cox. Chance to really push this one to a 3-possession game. 3 on the way by Rhodes. Won't go. Rebound down to Kirby. With numbers, it's Greenfield ahead. Atkinson can't get it to fall. They sped him up too quick. And now ahead of the pack, it's Pitt. Pitt up and in. His second bucket of the second half. Jaden Pitt now has 15. And Farmville now has a 7-point lead. Blocking call. 2 shots on the way for Matt Kirby.
8-0 run for Farmville right now. And like you said, sped him up too much. Atkinson unable to get the lay-in down the court to go. And that's one of the things where you're obviously running, and it is quick game, quick pace, quick transition. That's almost a situation where you almost wonder if you should kind of take a step back, slow it down, and get your kind of offense going, not just for that possession, but to try to slow the pace of this game down to get back into it.
Well, that's how this fast-paced offense and defense works. It makes you make quick decisions, makes you speed up, play at an uncomfortable pace. And in an environment like this, too, everybody's right on top of you. It's a packed gym, and it really speeds up your thought process there. 6-point game as Pitt tries the straightaway 3 and hits it. Here comes Jaden Pitt now. He hits the triple. On the other end, Greenfield desperately in need of a basket, down 9. And a loose ball, jump ball, Farmville Central ball. This went from a 1-point game to a 9-point Farmville lead.
It's feeling like it's getting out of hand now, and it's only been a minute 30. That's how quick these guys can strike.
A patented Farmville Central run here. The winner of this game takes on the winner of Broughton and Life Christian. Hansel Emanuel and Will Otto going at it. Now Alex Moy gets into the fun. Don't look now, but it's an 11-point lead for Farmville. They trailed by 11 in this one. Aaron Murphy on the other end. A much-needed answer for Greenfield. Back down to single digits. 5.5 to go fourth quarter. You need a stop if you're Greenfield here.
Josh Short trying to get something going. As they'll try to find Pitt in the corner, couldn't handle it. He'll drive down the baseline and just go to the basket himself, but couldn't get it. Rolls off the front of the rim. Kirby in transition now, trying to get something to work. Somehow gets it between some defenders to put it up, but shot blocked. Blocked twice! In the hands of Kirby, and a whistle finally gonna blow. Derek Cox, back-to-back huge blocks and keeping the momentum in Farmville's direction.
Foul there on Alex Moy, his third. But you're really starting to see Farmville at its finest. Missed 3 there by Atkinson. Kirby sticks it back in a timeout on the floor. We will take one as well. Farmville Central ahead of Greenfield 62-55 in the fourth quarter at the John Wall. 5 minutes, 6 seconds left, fourth quarter. It's been all Farmville Central in the last 6 minutes. They now lead the Greenfield School 62-55. Evan Moesta, David Katz here with you, bringing you this Devontae Graham bracket action. Josh Short. He showed up with authority, almost went for the rim there. He had his eyes set on takeoff. Instead, it'll stay with the Jaguars.
His speed around the corner, there was nothing that Hampton Evans, as he heads back to the bench, could do there except just kind of watch him fly.
4:45 left, fourth quarter. And Farmville close this one out. Back ironing off, loose ball, and a foul on Chris Rhodes. Send Greenfield to the line. This is what they really need right now. Chances to put points on the board with the clock stopped. Seems like their best bet in trying to narrow this deficit.
And Greenfield School is not out of this by any means. I mean, they have showed that they've been able to stop Farmville. They can do it again. They just got to get some points in their favor and possession back. And that miss there as it swirls out, it's not going to help, but it's picked up by Atkinson. Puts it in. Able to get the bucket to go, so couldn't get the free throws to go, but they find a way to stretch it back to a 5-point deficit.
14 now for Kyshawn Atkinson. Back to a 2-possession game. On the response, it's Farmville Central. Straight away, Rhodes. Now down low for Moy. Moy working on Wall. Can he float it up and in? No, he can't. Gets another opportunity and draws the foul.
You can see his frustration there a little bit. Just unable to get those to go. Good defense by Greenfield, make him work for him.
Bryson Wall picks up his third foul. We're going to get Hampton Evans right back into the game. Alex Moy at the free throw line where he's 1 for 2 today. Free throw shooting has not been a strength for Farmville Central in this one. That one's front ironing off, and as we get into these final 4 minutes, all those free throws become bigger and bigger and bigger.
They're going to start to add up. And the more and more that miss, the more and more that you know you could have had a bigger lead. Does knock the second one down, though, as the lead extends to 6. Now Kirby.
9 free throw misses so far for Farmville Central in this game.
Atkinson, pull-up shot just outside the paint. Rims out quickly now. Up to Short, 1-2 step. Josh Short with the Euro.
It's been all Josh Short here second half. He now has 15 points in this game as Atkinson knifes his way to the rim for 2. Good response. Back to a 6-point game. 3.5 minutes to go, fourth quarter.
Knights are playing bend, don't break.
They need to string together 1 or 2 stops here to really make this a ball game down the stretch. There's one of them. Atkinson now with numbers to the rim. Has it blocked out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Knights.
Josh Short, after going, he was a little short to get up. He looked like he was kind of, as he was walking down the court, messing with that right hammy. So looks like he's okay, though. He'll stay in the game, but just a hard landing.
Atkinson take a quick break. They'll gear him up for the final stretch here. Bryson Wall back into the game as Kirby's the inbounder. Flip it up top. CJ Alston. A 3 in the face of Short, and he hits it. Big. That's a big way to hit your first bucket of the game. Back down to a 3-point game. Alston.
Like you said, he hasn't had any buckets, but it feels like he's been there all night to help create some plays.
It's a 3-point game. On the response, Pitt can't get it to fall. It'll stay with Farmville Central. But don't look now, we have a 3-point game on our hands. 65-62 with 2:54 remaining in the fourth quarter.
You could tell half the gym agreed with that call and half the gym didn't. It is so awesome being back in a big environment like this. Packed house, 1,000 people in here. Oh, this is awesome.
Coach Williford wants to talk it over with 2:54 left in the fourth quarter. Farmville Central could really use a bucket here. They lead by 3. They trailed by 11 in the first half. They've led by 11 in this second half. But as they have all day long, Greenfield continues to just slowly but surely chip away and get back into this one. Greenfield, they've had an excellent game plan start to finish. It's just been a matter of executing it. And honestly, they did a great job for the opening 23 minutes of this game. And with the exception of one little 8-0 run by Farmville, it's really been a game that Greenfield's really been in control of.
Absolutely, they have. And I mean, they have been able to execute their game plan almost to perfection. I mean, a little bit tweaked now that we get here in the later game. Not exactly what we saw, but got to adapt, overcome. And this team right now playing bend but don't break. Down by 3. Big possession here. Got to get a stop if you're the Knights.
Pitt from the corner. Can't get the 3. Rebound to Cox. Now to Moy. That won't fall. Murphy secures it. And here comes Greenfield. Kirby a full head of steam. Takes it on Pitt. Almost turned it over. Loose ball on the floor. They compete for it. And it's going to Greenfield. Woo. A 50-50 ball there. Close call. And we get Atkinson right back into the game here. A quick minute breather for him.
If you're Greenfield, that's something good to see you get that ball going your way, especially with the possession arrow swinging in your favor. So they'll take a second, wipe down the ball.
2:39 fourth quarter. Remains a 3-point game. Farmville Central ahead of Greenfield. 65-62. They get it into Murphy. To the corner, Evans. Down the baseline, tipped out of bounds by Cox. It'll stay with Greenfield.
2 minutes, 32 seconds showing on the clock. Both teams in the bonus.
2 excellent coaches going at it here. Larry Williford, Rob Salter. Who's going to be able to draw up the winning plays down the stretch? We're into the final 2.5 minutes now. Evans travels. He tried to throw it off the foot of Rhodes, and instead it's going Farmville Central's way.
And there's that trap. There's that pressure pushing you towards the side of the court, pushing you towards the out of bounds, forcing to make some bad mistakes. Greenfield got to come up with a stop. Cannot let a bucket fall here.
Here's Moy. Tried to take it to the rim, and he draws the foul.
I mean, with the way that the free throw shooting has been, I'd rather you go to the line and shoot 1-and-1 than...
Might not be a bad decision to go to the line here. Again, Farmville Central, they've missed 9 free throws in this game. They only lead by 3.
So a lot more heavy action coming up here from the John Wall Invitational. Other side of the Devontae Graham bracket. Coming up after this one, Archbishop Spalding taking on North Mecklenburg. That one following the conclusion of this game. First shot's up and knocked down, so Moy makes a huge free throw to put it to a 2-possession lead. 8 fouls now on Greenfield. And second one falls, so 2 huge buckets, extending the lead to 5. And Kirby and the Knights are going to go back to work. He finds himself in a bit of a trap. He'll dump it off to Murphy. He's going to find Alston in the corner. Alston fires off the rim, off the glass. Put back by Murphy. What a way to respond.
17 now for Aaron Murphy. He's been right place, right time at all the right moments for Greenfield. And he is just a man-child there on the offensive glass. Back to a 3-point game. Moy with it. Guarded by Evans. They find Rhodes up top. Coach Williford barking out the orders as they swing it to Derek Cox. He knifes into the lane, to the rim. Oh, he almost brought the house down. Instead, it's Greenfield ball the other way. Kirby can't get it to fall. Evans, the putback, and he's fouled on the way up. Ooh,
man.
Derek Cox almost lifted the roof off of this gym.
That momentum was trying to balance a flat surface on a marble right there. I mean, it was whoa everywhere.
So now Hampton Evans is at the free throw line. 1:22, fourth quarter. Evans knocks down the first free throw.
That's huge.
He missed 3 free throws in the first half. He went 2 of 5 at the line in the first half. But some big ones here for the sophomore. Flips it up and in. Give Hampton Evans 9 points, and this is a 1-point game with 1:22 left.
Bryson Wall just checking in for Hampton Evans. So Evans will head back to the bench and take a breather.
This John Wall Holiday Invitational has tested Farmville Central numerous times. Can they climb the mountain here and move into the winner's side of the Devontae Graham bracket? Jaden Pitt now, guarded by Kirby. Breaks the count, works around the ball screen. We're now into the final minute. Cox with the basketball.
Trying to burn a little clock here. So get it back in the hands of Josh Short. That ball almost taken the other way.
Loose ball.
Pitt picks it up. Pitt, a fight for the ball. Alston's there. Whistles are going to blow and a timeout going to be taken before any more damage can be done. So the Jags playing a little bit lackadaisical, trying to throw the ball around, and Greenfield wants nothing of it, almost forcing a turnover and forcing the Jags to take a timeout.
Man, if Matt Kirby could have gotten to that loose ball right there,
man,
we'd have had a very exciting finish here. But as you had mentioned a couple of moments ago, it's not the worst thing in the world to be able to put Farmville Central at the free throw line. But if you're Greenfield, you've really got to ratchet up your defense and bottle up what you did first quarter for this final 43 seconds. And that is pack it in defensively with a zone and really force Farmville Central to take an uncomfortable shot or get them into a position where somebody that you're safe shooting it has the ball in his hands.
Yes. And something to note, both these teams with 8 fouls. So you've got at least one foul to go 1-and-1 to the line if Greenfield finds himself in that type of a situation. So just something to note and keep an eye on.
These programs are battle tested. Farmville Central had a really close first round game in the 2019 John Wall. So did Greenfield. Who's going to take this one in the final 40 seconds? Short, and an offensive foul. So we've got a bit of a disagreement here. One of the officials called offensive, one called a block. The one who called the offensive foul, it wasn't in his zone. And that's what they're talking about right now. We've got a block charge situation on our hands.
Well, to me, and what I saw, his feet were set. His feet were set, he was not moving. That looked like a charge to me.
That would be a big one. It would be a foul against Josh Short. 67-66. Typically in these block charge situations by the book, they move it to a jump ball scenario. In that case, it would be Greenfield basketball if it is a jump ball scenario. I think that's what they're talking about right now, is in the book they have that block charge rule.
I don't feel
and
like
if there is a discrepancy, they will go to a jump ball scenario.
I don't feel like you can come out of this discussion saying one call or another. I feel like you have to go to that jump ball, especially without the ability to rewatch the play. But
I think the only argument you have in favor of Farmville Central right now is the official that made the call of the block was in the zone of the play. The one who called offensive foul was not in that zone, and now they'll call together Coach Rob Salter and Larry Williford. And you can see the look on Coach Williford's face. I think he kind of knows what's about to happen as they talk through this with him. So two of the top coaches here in the state of North Carolina, and this is quite the finish we have on our hands right here.
Bit of a bizarre situation, too. I don't think I've ever seen this before.
Very rarely do you get that block charge, and it's going to Greenfield. So Greenfield draws the charge on Josh Short. They needed a defensive stop, and boy, did they get it. They will have the basketball down to 1 with 37.2 seconds to go.
67-66. Greenfield down by 1 with possession.
Tons of college coaches here littering the baselines. A packed crowd here at Wake Tech North. The John Wall back for the first time since 2019, and this day 2 action is not disappointing, especially in this Devontae Graham bracket. And Coach Williford still starting to question with the officials here.
All right, so if you're Greenfield here, what's your plan here? What's your attack here?
Now the question is, who is the foul on? It's got to be Josh Short, right?
Well, Short, yeah, it's got to be Short. Short's the one who drove up in the lane. I mean, Short's the one who was driving.
There
So
we
it was
go.
on short.
They were just working out who it was. And Williford's still not happy here. Still letting the ref get an earful as Kirby walks it up, and now the crowd comes to their feet. 33 seconds left. Murphy, a turnover, loose ball on the ground. Cox, they compete for it, and it's a push. Who are they going to say the foul's against? They're going to say it's on Atkinson with the push.
Oh, my
Farmville
goodness.
Central gets the stop they need, and they're heading to the line.
And look, I know you've got urgency, and I know you want to put that bucket in, but you've got 37 seconds and no shot clock to work with. I don't understand why you were trying to find Murphy so early in the paint with such like a risky pass there. I don't get that, and now it's back in the hands of Farmville.
Now Coach Williford pleading his case to the officials.
I don't get that. And now Farmville finds themselves in the double bonus, so anybody's going to go to the line and shoot two now.
So they're saying one of the players on Farmville Central has a dislocated finger. You could hear Coach Williford pleading to the officials for an injury timeout. It's Derek Cox. Yeah.
And Farmville only one timeout. Greenfield's got two, and he is livid. I mean, it's a loud gym. You can hear him up here.
You've got half this crowd not having a single clue what's going on here. Another half wants a technical foul just because they see a coach giving it to the officials. But it'll be MJ Williams off the bench, a 5'7" freshman. The biggest free throws of his life coming up right here. He has a 1-point lead in the John Wall Holiday Invitational, and he can't hit the first.
Really fast
Greenfield.
transition.
Greenfield will get a chance here to tie or win it, regardless of what happens on this free throw.
It's that moment where you're sitting playing by yourself. You got free throws.
Big one there for Williams. 68-66. 27 seconds left. Kirby across the time stripe. Now to Murphy. They find Evans. Evans to the rim. Can't get it to fall. Rebound down to Moy, and a foul on the floor by Evans. They got the look they wanted for the tie, and Evans couldn't finish it. He's had a couple around the rim today, and he just has not been able to get the roll to go. 18 and a half seconds to go now. Farmville, they maintain that 2-point lead, and now they're at the free throw line.
I know you found your look. I know that's what you were trying to get. There is 18.5 on the clock. Greenfield, the team who is usually a little more slow, a little more methodical, trying to run like they're Farmville, playing the pace of the game today. And I get that you get that look, and I get that that's what you want. But even if that falls, Farmville's got way too much time to try to make something happen.
Alex Moy, he's been money. He's hit his last 4 free throws.
And so now you find yourself in a situation where you're down by 3, one more shot. If Moy drains this, it's a 2-possession game unless the unlikelihood of a 4-point play comes your way.
That one will go 70-66. Greenfield down 2 possessions. They need a quick bucket. Atkinson and a timeout called by Salter with 14 and a half seconds to go. 70-66, the Farmville lead now. Now you need to ratchet up one of those threes. In this game so far, Greenfield, they've had a couple different guys hit 3-point baskets, 4 to be exact. Kirby, Alston, Atkinson, Evans. They've all hit threes in this one.
I'm going to be honest,
but only 4 in the game.
I'm going to be honest, it feels like Atkinson, he's got 2, does he not? I feel like Atkinson is the guy I want here. I mean, he hasn't been the biggest presence throughout this game, but lately, especially in this second half, he has shown up and he is not down. I remember one of those threes was an off balance, kind of loose 3. I want the hands, I want the ball in his hands. I want him to be trying to take this shot, and if it's not him, I feel like you got to give it to your guy at the top, Kirby. I feel like it's got to be one of those 2 guys, unless you're trying to go inside, get a quick bucket, and foul. But I feel like you have to try to get that 3.
14 and a half seconds to go. The inbounder, C.J. Alston. What a finish to this game. Greenfield, they've had numerous opportunities in the final minute to take the lead or tie. Now they're down 4. Murphy had it stripped away by Derek Cox. And a loose ball, jump ball, Farmville Central ball. Derek Cox, who just came back into the game, he dislocated his finger 35 seconds ago. And now he comes up with a crucial steal and rebound with 9 seconds left.
3 possessions on that side of the court, 2 turnovers on risky passes in the paint, 1 and then a rebound on a missed shot.
There's that championship pedigree of Farmville Central, though. We talked about some of these guys on this team. This is their first taste of big-time basketball, having been role players the past couple of years on some of these state championship teams, and now they have the keys to the car. And that championship pedigree's risen to the top in the last minute or so of this game, especially the second half. Farmville up 4 here, but they've battled through adversity. They've made all the right plays when they've needed to.
And you use that word. It's my favorite word, adversity. They battled through it. Down by 11 at one point. I know it was the first quarter, but you're down by 11. And so they battled through adversity. They've battled back. They've battled through some questionable calls. And they found themselves in a big position, and they've come up. And I can't just blame everything to be on Greenfield. They've come up with those steals. It hasn't just been on Greenfield.
They get it into Cox and a foul on the floor against Bryson Wall. And a chance to ice it here.
7.9 showing on the clock. 70-66. As we can see North Mech, Archbishop Spalding getting ready to take the court at the conclusion of this one. We're a little bit behind schedule.
Just a little.
But nevertheless.
About 20 minutes. But if you're looking to head into this one, there are very few seats remaining here at Wake Tech North in Building K.
So the first shot up and good for Cox. Second one up, can't get it, but it's gonna be rebounded by the Jags. And a foul gonna be called there. 2 more shots at the line. And it feels like that might have just sealed the coffin.
We talked about it. This tournament has been the Achilles heel for Farmville Central. Their only 2 losses in the last 3 years have come here at the Holiday Invitational. They've been on the ropes every single game that they've ever played in this tournament. And once again, it looks like they're going to survive here and move to 9-0 this season. Their 43rd consecutive victory, and 85-2 now in their last 3 years. And they'll take on the winner of Broughton and Life Christian later on as Hampton Evans gets that at the horn. But it's not enough. Farmville Central survives. They come back in the second half and win this one 72-68. We'll be back in just a little bit as North Mech takes on Archbishop Spalding. You're tuned in to the Hoop State Network.